This is a wake up call. Hello and welcome to Wake Up Call. Of course, I'm pleased to be here and share tidbits with you on how you can be a better CEO, better team lead, better C-level executive who's looking to grow and shape a business in Africa. Okay, so today I just wanted to share tidbits on what it feels like or who you have to be, what you have to do to meet deadlines and complete projects on time. Okay, so this can be a dicey one considering that, when you used to be, perhaps you've been the sort of person who has worked by themselves, you've been a freelancer, maybe like me, you've done some, gigs, and then it's felt like, when it has to do with deadlines or you have to deliver on projects, you know just what to do and how to apportion your time and your place, and you just know how to manage to deliver. But I tell you that it's different when you're working with a team, especially a team that sometimes you do not have full control over. You don't know who's going to fall ill, you don't know who's going to have difficulty in solving a particular problem when it comes to their part of the deliverable. One thing that we always look at in project management and strategy is to always factor the human into it, and this is a risk, especially when it comes to risk management. It's a risk that is always present when it comes to human beings and work, right? It's not something you can control. You don't know exactly what to do and how to go about it, right, all the time, but it's something that you have to factor in. It's something that you have to ensure, you don't have the deliverables of your clients, falling short. Perhaps you have to write a business case, you have to create a product, whatever it is, an advertising strategy. You're reliant on other people who are not just you, and you're just not sure on how to manage, deadlines. Perhaps in the past you've seen that deadlines have just been so hard to meet up with. One tool that I was going to share with everyone, I'm thinking, is that later on, when we're delving deeper into productivity tools, tips, and techniques, we're going to look into those in detail when we're looking at, all of those productivity strategies. And I'm just going to mention it in passing here right now. Okay, so the first thing I want to say is to carry everybody along. Ensure that everybody knows, is abreast of, the information that they need per time. If there's any change in your project, if there's any change in your deliverable, if there's something that you need to tweak or improve, make sure that you let your people know. It's exciting and stimulating to see these days that a lot of companies are including daily stand-ups, especially for hybrid companies who work both physically and virtually and have remote workers at the same time, and they include daily stand-ups in their meetings, or in their daily, uh, operations, in the day-to-day operations. The fantastic thing about it is some people have said daily stand-ups are not effective, and daily stand-ups that are, going to be 30 minutes are no longer stand-ups. They have become a sit-down conference. And yes, it can be that way, especially when you're doing, timings. But one thing that I have found to be very helpful on the project that I have worked on so far is to ensure one of the tactics that I've found to be very important when it comes to projects, especially on the projects I have worked on so far, is to ensure that you have meetings where everybody's abreast of the state of the project and where everybody is at. So the tool I was going to mention is the Gantt chart. The, it's never a waste of time to have a Gantt chart to know this is the project, this is the scope, and this is who owns what, and this is the timeline. It just helps you and it paints a beautiful picture of what the project is supposed to be. When you have that picture, deciding or assessing where you are per time now helps you see if you're on track for the appropriate deliverable. Now, one thing that I always try to factor into my Gantt charts is to factor in extra time that does not tally with the deliverable dates. So what do I mean? If I'm delivering, for example, on the 29th of April 2023, if that's the delivery date for a project I have, say a writing project, an ebook project that includes numerous stuff on it for research, for transcribing and things like that, the first thing I want to do is to say, okay, what are the steps I need, or what's my checklist, which is usually what I have. What's my checklist to deliver on this ebook project? It can change. There's a generic checklist I have, but it can be tweaked and changed depending on the project. So, for example, if this project requires transcription, perhaps the client is going to record everything they're saying and I have to transcribe before developing it into a book with added information, infographics, charts, and all the likes. Then I look at, okay, transcription. I also look at designing the book, the in pages of the book, designing the book covers, legislation, getting an ISBN for the book, looking at uh, let's see, what's another thing? Proofreading and editing, um, getting a review from the client, which can take more time than you normally would need. So, say you're going to give 5 days to the client to read the book and get back to you, sometimes it could take longer. So, I try to factor that in and also include it in my contract. If at any point the input of the client is going to delay the deliverable or the delivery date of the job, the client has to take note that, this is their own fault. This is something that has come on from their end. So you provide a Gantt chart, and it's nice to also share with your stakeholders, right? Your clients, so that they know where the product is supposed to be, and they understand that if a failing on their part, if you're running a construction project, for example, if a failing on the part of your client to provide resources like the cement and the blocks is going to delay your work, then they have to know that the delivery date, of course, is going to shift, right? There are projects where you have, a shorter time turnover from a particular stage, and then a longer time in a particular stage. But for me, I just always like to make provision for days before the final delivery date. If it then exceeds the final delivery date, then we know that there's a problem on that project, and it's best to just see all of that throughout the project and just work on it per time. So daily stand-ups are good. Making use of a Gantt chart is also great. Putting provision for time before the end of the Gantt chart is before the actual delivery date is a very important thing to consider that you may want to do. Carrying everybody along, every stakeholder, including your clients, including your co-workers, your team members, your employees, carrying everybody along to know where the project is supposed to be, where we are right now, what's stopping us, what's holding us back, and what can take us forward. I hope that um this way, you're able to visualize the projects that you have and the deliverables you have, and look at your deadlines and see how you can complete projects in a more time effective manner. I think that's the word. I like that word, time effective manner. Just to ensure that you're able to deliver in good time and just provide what you need to provide to your clients. I hope I'm able to do a watch me do it video for building a Gantt chart, and something that would help you. It's pretty easy, pretty fun. It's for me, maybe because I enjoy project strategy. That's really like one thing I know I've fallen in love with project strategy. It just helps you build an entire um, it's more like you finish the work. It's like building a blueprint. If you're building, you have a blueprint for the design of the house or the building and how it looks like inside and outside. So basically, that's what it is. But for every other type of project, you're able to build a picture of what it's supposed to look like, what the project, what the final project is supposed to look like, and how beautiful it's supposed to be. So I think that, and I hope that this has helped you. I hope I'm able to contribute to your business education to know how to properly manage, your deadlines and your timeline when it comes to your projects. Be well, do well, stay hydrated, and take care to those.